All right, well, first of all, thank you, John, for inviting us here to Ginsberg today and talking with us about the opportunities for high school students here. And why not tell us a little bit about what it is that Ginsberg does here?
Well, Ginsberg's has been a proud member of the Columbia County community for 111 years now. We're now fourth generation ownership, so Ginsbergs are still very much involved, David and Nancy, but their son John is now running the business. So we get the pleasure of working for him, David and Nancy, presently. We are a broadline food service distributor, which means we bring food into our warehouse, have over 8,000 products that we stock, and we sell to businesses within a 250-mile radius right out of here, this facility in Hudson. So we are delivering to high schools, we're delivering to colleges and universities, nursing homes, hospitals, and independent restaurants. So those small privately owned restaurants that we like to frequent, we want more people to frequent because they really are the bread and butter of the Ginsberg Foods business.
Nice. And what is it that you do here, and about how many folks does Ginsberg have working for them?
Well, I'm the Vice President of Human Resources for Ginsberg's. We employ 210 people presently. And so my job basically entails strategic planning for the company and ensuring that we provide the appropriate payroll services, benefit services, and employment experience for those 210 employees.
All right, so say I'm a high school student. Of course, it's been a long time since that happened. But so if I were a high school student, what type of positions might be available to me? Or if I was just a recent high school graduate, what type of positions are available to me? And what would I have to have in terms of qualifications or education or skill to come work for you?
Yeah, we're looking for high school students that are 18 years or older or recent high school graduates because of certain labor law restrictions on the type of jobs we offer and certain OSHA requirements that are in place. We really need someone that's 18 or older to legally work in our environment. So we know that picks up generally high school students who are in their last year of high school or may have recently graduated. We have a lot of opportunities for high school students upon graduation. Primarily what we'll be looking for is someone who's going to work in a labor class job, so a driver helper, which would be a person that sits with the trained driver in the truck and helps deliver product to customers. We also have warehousing on our day and our night team. So our day warehouse team generally receives products in from suppliers and loads the warehouse. So at night, the night warehouse team selects those products, loads our trucks for delivery. So those individuals would come in and be trained by the company and then would have tremendous upward opportunity within the company based on their motivations and their desire to grow their skill. But as far as coming right out of high school, we would want that individual to have a commitment to work, be focused on showing up to work on time, being somewhat vulnerable, knowing that they don't know it all, but that they need to be open to learning and asking questions, not being afraid to make mistakes. Things that I should dare to use the word assume, but we assume that people who are motivated, young people who are motivated to want to succeed in the workplace would have those skills, and they would do very well at Ginsberg's just to demonstrate those basic skills walking in the door.
Excellent, nice. So I'm a high school student. I'm coming to interview for the job, and what is it that attracts you to me? What is it that I'm talking to you about, or what in the interview gives me an opportunity to get the job with you?
Well, first thing is show up at the interview on time. Be dressed for the position you're interviewing for. Some of these entry-level labor class positions, as I refer to them, the warehouse associates, driver helpers, we're not expecting you to wear a suit and tie to the interview. You're being told when you're called for the interview to dress for a physical performance test because you'd have to basically do what we call a pallet test, move products from one location to another, and monitor your safe habits, your skill at figuring out how the pattern goes for these products. So we'll be very clear, though, that that's how you have to come prepared for the interview. But once that physical performance test is over and you go sit in front of another individual like myself in a room, we're now assessing other skills. Are you engaged in the conversation? Do you have questions prepared about the company? Do you even know what job you applied for? Those are all pretty basic starting points. But I also want to look at the individual's resume. We expect that a high school graduate would have a resume and that it's up to date. and that we can learn from your resume what you've been involved with. What is your class rank? What was your extracurricular participation? Were you in a drama club? Were you a captain of a sports team? Did you participate in things that were along the lines of volunteerism, whether it's through a church-based organization or through your school and a club in your school? So those are all things that we're looking for that kind of surround the interview. But then we're looking for honest answers. So I ask you a question. I don't want you to tell me a story that meanders through various paths. I want a direct answer. And if you don't know the answer, I would like an honest answer. I really don't know. I've never had that experience before. And that goes a long way, because we know you can't get direct training necessarily for some of the jobs we offer here. We're going to do that for you. We just need to know we're going to have an honest person walking in the door that's ready to work hard.
What is it that you expect to see from them in their first few months on the job?
Okay, we want to see steady growth. So we want to see someone who is at work on time, stays till their workday is done, is at work more often than not. So preferably not calling out a lot, sick, not finding a reason not to come to work. Those are things that will immediately concern us with your ability to remain employed at Ginsberg's. If you do the opposite of those things, you show up to work on time, you show a desire to learn, you ask a lot of questions, those are things that we want high school graduates and new employees to demonstrate. We have a robust training program here, so if the employees are truly engaged in that program, we should see steady progress. Here at Ginsberg's, we offer a 90-day probationary period where the sole purpose of those 90 days is for us to invest knowledge in you, and to hopefully you acquire that knowledge and show us in return that you can become more and more self-sufficient.
So in that training period, is there any specific training method going on? Is there job-related specific training? I'm assuming obviously job-related specific training, but is learning technology important? Is other than the job skill itself? Yeah.
So there's a variety of different training types depending on the program or the position that you have been hired for. So if you are a individual learning a new job in the warehouse, you're going to learn how to drive forklifts and other types of machinery. There's very specialized training, hands-on training and computer-based training that goes along with that. We also have technology computers mounted to those machines, so you have to learn the technology. There are voice-activated computer programs that you use to select product at night. So you have to learn how to train the system to recognize your voice. So we use computer-based training. We used in-person specialized training for the job. There are learning guides that we have, so physical pieces of paper that an individual can reference to go through that particular element of their job to learn that job. And then we will use, on occasion, kind of like pre and post testing to monitor the person's progress. But it's mainly observation and interpersonal interaction, how we assess the person's growth.
We've talked about a number of the ways that they can learn the job and possibly have a career here. So if I wanted to have a career at Ginsberg, is there an opportunity for me to move up the ladder, so to speak, to grow within the job, to opportunity for promotion and grow with the company?
There are a plethora of opportunities with Ginsberg's, and well, first I kind of define them by the traditional classes of jobs that are available. So we would call some of our jobs labor class jobs, where you don't need a lot of specialized skill. You just need your raw power to come into the job and move product around and just be a physical laborer, so to speak. Then you have skilled labor, where you really need to understand maybe mechanics, and you can find a job here in that realm. You have professional-based jobs, where maybe you have IT training or HR training, human resources training, or other types of training like accounting. And then you have executive-level positions where once you've acquired a lot of skill in your area throughout your career, you can be in a position that actually runs the company. So be in a director level position or vice president level position, such as myself. So we've had success stories with that here at Ginsberg's.
Well, thank you. That's incredible. Where do I apply?
You can apply at ginsbergs.com and follow the careers link, and we expect your application within the next hour.
I'm going to do it before I leave. John, thank you so much. We really appreciate you doing this. It sounds like Ginsberg is the kind of opportunity that will help our area grow and give our folks here locally a chance to be able to stay near home and make a nice life for themselves. Thank you again for your time. Thank you to all of the folks here at Ginsberg. And hopefully we will see you again soon.